What's up everybody, AnimeX here, and in this video, I'll be adding yet another video into the What If Naruto Had a Zanpakuto series. This is you guys bodying the like goal that I set for part 3, meaning that, hey, if you guys want the series to continue, here we are. The like goal for this video will be 3,000 likes, and if you guys can get this amount of likes, you can get another part to the series. Anyways, as usual, I'll be recapping the last part of the What If, then jumping into the new material. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, in the last part of this video, we left off with Naruto, going into the Land of Waves along with the rest of his team, and after part of the Land of Waves mission was completed, or after Zabuza was seemingly killed by the Haku ninja, the random ninja who appeared, threw Senbon in Zabuza's neck and dipped. After that happened, Kakashi and the rest of the team went to Zabuza's place, where Naruto is currently training. Naruto, during his Shunpo training, trying to practice using a flash step technique at a much more accurate and just precise ability, Naruto realizes, or he basically finds out a secret about the scroll. The scroll had his father, Minato, the fourth Hokage's soul sealed within it, allowing the scroll to talk to Naruto, respond to him, and interact with him. Now, after releasing this and allowing him to see and talk to and interact with his dad, Naruto is told by his dad to learn the name of his Zanpakuto and attain the shikai form. Now, the last part we left off was Naruto actually learning the name, using the command phrase, and finally unlocking shikai. So that's where we'll jump back into the story. Now, like I said, we left off with Naruto calling upon the name of his Zanpakuto and unleashing his shikai state. After Naruto does this, he looks at Minato, who is amazed that his son was able to master and find his shikai relatively quickly, although in the real world's time, Naruto has been unconscious for 2 days. As Naruto holds his new blade, he looks at it, swings it around a couple times, getting a feel for it as he decides to launch an attack. Go ahead, Naruto. Test out your Ryatsu. Naruto nods and focuses on bringing out his Ryatsu. As he does this, the surrounding environment starts to be blown back as Naruto flexes his newfound spiritual pressure. Minato then grabs Naruto's shoulder, warning him to stop before he destroys everything around him, not expecting Naruto to be this powerful. And Naruto does stop. He stops letting his spiritual pressure fully leak, so he reins it back in. My bad. Naruto then just smiles goofily as he didn't expect to be this strong just by learning the name of his Zanpakuto. Minato says that it's fine, but also says that Naruto, basically is amazed at this development and tells him that he still has work to do. Now, before they continue, Minato tells Naruto that he cannot tell anybody about his existence, about him being a soul, because no one can see him besides people with his abilities. Meaning that even if they did know, it only hurt them to know, or at least it hurt Kakashi to know, that Minato was sitting just near him, but he can never interact with him. Naruto nods his head, understanding where Minato is coming from, and tells him that he won't let anybody know. Minato, after this, says, it's fine for him releasing his Zanpakuto a little too strong, but says that, basically Minato tells him after that to go get some sleep and recuperate with his team for a bit. Naruto is going to start his training in Shunpo after that, since that's something necessary in order for Naruto to gain a handle on his abilities and truly become strong, so he needs some rest before he does that. Naruto then tilts his head, as he doesn't really feel tired, but as soon as this thought crosses Naruto's mind, his knees buckle underneath him, and he falls to the ground unconscious. When he passes out, his sword goes back into its sealed state, being just your average regular katana. The next day, Naruto wakes up inside of Tazuna's house, and on a futon that is right next to where Kakashi was lying down earlier. He wakes up pretty groggy and sluggish due to him being extremely tired from all of yesterday's training and the fact that Naruto had gone full 2 days, or 2 full days, without food and water. After rehydrating and filling up on some good food, he heads back out to see his team doing some chakra control training. Kakashi turns around and greets Naruto, telling and explaining what is happening, or what Sasuke and Sakura are doing at the time, seeing as how Naruto doesn't really understand why they're just trying to run up some trees. When this is explained, Naruto thinks this sounds very familiar to what he's able to do with his Ryatsu within the air. Use it to cling to things, use it to basically grab a foothold on the air. Since he knows that and knows that he can do the same thing, he doesn't really find interest in this and instead challenges Sasuke to a fight, wanting to test out his new shikai, although Minato floats behind him and just kind of warns him not to. Now, While Sasuke was focused on learning how to divert chakra to his feet to stick to objects using that chakra, a challenge from Naruto is so interesting that he can't pass up. Alright Naruto, I'll humor you for a bit. Let's go. Naruto then leaps off of the tree and Naruto unsheathes his sword. I won't go all out against you Sasuke, but we'll see if you can keep up at this level of speed. Naruto then uses Shunpo to appear behind Sasuke. Sasuke can't track this movement as Naruto gently puts his hand on Sasuke's shoulder. I guess you can't keep up with this speed. Oh well then, this probably isn't worth my time then. Sorry for bothering you guys. Naruto then appears back in his initial position as he walks away from Sasuke. Don't you underestimate me, Naruto! Sasuke then pulls out a kunai and charges at Naruto as his back is turned. As Sasuke flies through the air, he swings his kunai at Naruto's back. Naruto quickly turns around and blocks his kunai strike with his sword, pushing Sasuke away from him. Alright Sasuke, if you want to fight so bad, I could use a nice warm-up. Naruto then holds the sword in front of him as he starts building up Ryatsu. Sync with me! Naruto stops when he sees the ghost of Minato in front of him, signaling him not to do that. Naruto puts his sword down after that and faces Sasuke. We can continue this later, Sasuke, but as of right now, I need to go train. Naruto then nods towards him and heads off to the woods again to go train. Now, while he's out there speeding around, he finds himself face to face with Haku, who is himself in a pink kimono, and is staring at Naruto move around at these speeds. Now, when Naruto makes eye contact with Haku, he sheathes his sword and asks who he is. I'm Haku. Nice to meet you. Naruto nods as he walks over to him and sits down. The two converse for a bit, before Haku decides to leave and basically head over to Zabuza. Naruto, likewise, heads back to his team, who is going to escort Tazuna the rest of the way back onto the bridge. Once the team makes it to the bridge, they find themselves face to face with Haku and Zabuza, who are standing on the bridge, ready to kill the bridge builder and get their pay. As they catch sight of Naruto, or as he catches sight of them, Naruto hefts his sword, unsheathing it, asking Kakashi if he could fight Zabuza. No, Naruto. I'm gonna be taking Zabuza, but you can take the other ninja if you want. Naruto nods as he charges at Haku with his blade and brings it down, trying to gauge how fast this other ninja is. Naruto brings down his sword on Haku, expecting to dodge this attack, but to Naruto's surprise, Haku is able to react to and block this attack with his Senbon. You must be pretty impressive to be able to block my attacks. Naruto and Haku then push off of each other. It's time to see how fast your kid is, Kakashi. Haku is the fastest ninja I've ever seen in battle. There's no way he'll be able to keep up. Kakashi just smiles at Zabuza and says, "You'd be surprised how strong my team is, Zabuza. I think it'd do you well not to underestimate Naruto." This is said as Haku appears behind Naruto and stabs with his Senbon, trying to pierce the back or neck of Naruto. It's over. He's far too slow. Zabuza says this as Haku strikes. You're right, Zabuza. He is far too slow. As Haku closes in, Naruto turns to Haku and looks. Oh, soy. Naruto then turns around and swings his sword upward and cuts Haku from the hip to the shoulder, which makes blood spew into the air. This surprises Haku and Zabuza as Naruto only started his movement right before he was hit with an attack. Come on now. Your partner was hyping up your speed. Don't tell me this is all you can do. Naruto then starts swinging again, forcing Haku to retreat briefly before charging in again, dodging one of his sword strikes and grabbing his arm. Naruto wonders what Haku thinks can happen from here, but he sees him start weaving handsuits with only one hand. What? How can you... Haku then finishes the jutsu and pushes off of Naruto as all the icicles that were formed by the jutsu close in on Naruto's position. Even Kakashi is startled by this, even though he knows Naruto's extremely strong, he doesn't see how Naruto's going to get out of there. Naruto then smirks, as they all almost touch him before he uses Shunpo at the last second to, basically switch places, or get out of there. And Naruto then turns to Haku, who is still holding his chest from the attack that Naruto inflicted pretty early in the fight. As Naruto looks at Haku and is focusing his attention on him, Zabuza moves in on him, getting ready to inflict a fatal wound on him before Haku can get finished off. Kakashi is caught off guard by this, meaning that as he chases him, he's too slow. Naruto, watch out! Naruto hears this 1 second too late. He turns to see Zabuza right next to him, bringing his sword down to Naruto. Naruto moves his sword up just to block, or just before the attack lands, although his grip on the sword is so weak, it only minimizes the damage that Naruto has taken, meaning that he does get slashed across the chest. Damn it, you coward. You need to attack me from behind to get a hit? Naruto then spits onto the ground as he looks at Zabuza. Kakashi, I apologize for taking your opponent and for disobeying you. I accept whatever punishment you have for me, but I'll be fighting Zabuza, sir. Naruto then rushes in at Zabuza and swings his blade down, which presses Zabuza on the back foot. Alright, Zabuza, let's see how strong you are when I'm trying to attack you. Naruto then uses Shunpo to appear behind Zabuza. You're far too slow to hit me, kid. Zabuza then turns around and kicks Naruto in the chest, which agitates the wound that has been inflicted on him earlier and makes him woozy for a brief second. Alright, Zabuza. I respect you as a warrior. I won't continue to fight you while holding back. Puts his sword in front of him. Looks towards Minato's spirit, and Minato nods. Alright, I can. Sync with me, Kurama. Naruto then explodes with aura as his sword goes into its release state. Now, Zabuza, let's see how fast I am like this. Zabuza sees Naruto take a single step, and then feels the pain of a punch from Naruto punching him in the gut. What? There's no way this kid is so strong. Zabuza then lifts his sword over his head as he's preparing to bring down his sword with enough force to break Naruto's shikai. I'd put down the sword, Zabuza. It seems like it's too heavy for you right now. Naruto then moves his hand ever so slightly from the perspective of Zabuza as Naruto slashes the tendons within Zabuza's arms, stopping him from using his arms. It's over, Zabuza. Accept your death. It's not over until one of us is dead, you brat! Don't you dare say it's over until one of us is dead and gone! Naruto then nods. You're right, Zabuza. I'll kill you before I say anything. Naruto then charges his Urashi into his blade. I'll end this in one blow. Naruto then charges in as Zabuza, with the last amount of shikai energy that he has, running low. He then plunges his sword into Zabuza's chest. Goodbye, Zabuza. You are a worthy opponent, and an even more worthy swordsman. Naruto then removes his sword from Zabuza's body as it reverts to his sealed form. Naruto turns to see some senbon mere centimeters from his eye, as he's just able to duck this, although a cut across his face is the result. What the hell just happened? Naruto turns to see Sasuke unconscious and covered in senbon, with Kakashi being injured and bleeding as well, holding Sasuke's body. Naruto is then stabbed from behind by a senbon from Haku. You killed Zabuza! You killed my reason for living! Haku then roars, this in sadness and agony as he pushes the senbon straight through Naruto's body, almost puncturing a vital organ. Naruto turns around and slashes at Haku, hoping to land this blow and stop the attack, although Haku dodges this, disappearing behind him and slashing at his legs and back before he can kick him. How is he this strong now? I know I'm a little tired, but even when holding back, I was completely outclassing him. Now I can't even keep track of him with my eyes? This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Naruto is then slashed across the cheek, chest, and is stabbed by multiple senbon. I can't survive any more of these blows. If I get hit with any more of this, I'm gonna die. Is this the power of having someone to protect and avenge? Naruto's eyes widen as he feels himself falling to the ground. Shit. I'm starting to die. If I land on any of these senbon, one of my organs is gonna be punctured. I'll be done for. You have to stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up, damn it! Naruto's foot then moves backwards, stopping him from hitting the ground. Pathetic. You were being killed by a weakling like this, with all the strength that you have access to? As expected of a human, it seems. Naruto's spiritual pressure, which normally has a white tinge, transforms into a hurricane of swirling red energy. If you can't handle enemies at this level, Naruto, I'll kill them for you. Naruto then feels this energy suffocating his own energy as it takes over. Naruto rushes over to Haku and slices downwards faster than Haku can even tell what's happening, which results in him cutting Haku once more, making an X-shaped injury on Haku's torso. Naruto then lifts his hand up in order to deal the final blow before he grabs a hold of his face. Get out of my head! Let me fight on my own! Naruto then falls to his knees in exhaustion as he's just barely able to dispel the red aura and looks at Haku. I'm sorry that this mission required me to kill someone you love so dearly, but I can guarantee you, your souls will meet in the afterlife if you die by my blade as well. Haku steps to Naruto with tears in his eyes as he says this. Please, I just want to be with Lord Zabuza. Just end it for me now. I understand. Naruto then takes his sword and plunges it into Haku's heart, killing him painlessly. In seconds, he falls to the ground. Lord Zabuza, coming soon. Please wait for me. Haku then dies as Naruto removes his sword and he drops to the ground. Kakashi, I'd like to bury them, please. Kakashi limps over to Naruto and puts his hand on his shoulder, approving of this. After burying them and paying respects, Naruto sees a ton of thugs on the other side. Naruto grabs his sword and unsheathes it once more as he walks over to the thugs on the bridge. Why are you here? The mob boss of the group steps up and speaks up to Naruto. We are here to cure Zabuza and the boy in order to have them pay for their services. Naruto's vein pops out as anger builds up. Naruto walks up to the mob boss who he can stare directly at. I wish I could say you'd meet them in the afterlife, but we all know hell is something that's way too nice for you. Naruto then throws a punch that snaps the boss's neck instantly. Then, when every other thug is looking at him angrily, Naruto lets his spiritual pressure out in full force, which makes all of the other thugs collapse in its presence, not even be able to look Naruto in the eye. Naruto then walks off, saying that if they don't leave his presence in seconds, he'll kill them all. This makes them all scatter as Naruto walks back to his team. And that, everybody, is where I'm going to end part 3 to the What If Naruto Had a Zanpakuto series. If you guys did enjoy and, do like this series, make sure to hit the like button, comment on, what you like, what you think you could fix about it, what aspects of Bleach I may be missing, or just subscribe if you haven't already, because, I know some of y'all not be subscribing over here, so, man, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications, watch the videos. It's simple. But, yeah. On a more serious note, I'll leave links to my social media and all that stuff down below, just like I normally do, in case you guys want to interact with me on a more personal level. Try to respond to DMs, all that kind of stuff on Instagram, Discord, all that good stuff every day. I do my best to do that. A lot of you guys do be hitting me up, so I'm glad that you guys are taking advantage of all that good stuff. Leave my Twitter polls, all that good stuff. Expect a community tab poll today, or basically, yeah, just today. Depending on when this video comes out, I may have already dropped it, but hey. Yeah, guys, that's all I got for you. So, if you liked the video, like it, comment. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe. As usual, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, guys, this is Anime X, signing off.